Hello, my name's Jay Lind. I'm a second year medical student and I'm a folk singer songwriter. In the spirit of the folk tradition, I tell off stories about the songs I perform. And I wanted to tell a bit of a story for this song. So, this song is called Garden. And it's a song I wrote while I was a volunteer in hospice care. So, hospice, end of life care, not treating a disease, but trying to add quality to life. And I would come as a volunteer. I would just come once a week for a few hours. I'd sit with a patient who I was assigned to generally and get to know them and hear their story. And one of the first people I was paired with, I did this for about 5 years, but one of the first people I was paired with, I can't tell you her name because of HIPAA, but I can tell you a bit about her. So she was from India originally. She'd grown up there and then moved to Europe with her family, and then after her spouse died, she moved to America. And so she had a pretty eclectic life. She'd lived a lot of places, also lived in East Africa. And there were several things as I got to know her and sit with her. She was cognitively all there, so we would talk a lot. And she told me a few things. I mean, one thing was when she was in Africa, she translated all these stories into English. So she had all these local fables and legends that she wanted to share with the bigger audience. So she loved stories herself. She also was a big fan of the royal family. So she was living in the UK for some time, and she learned all about the history and the gossip, and she would fill me in on kind of the dramas around that. And then the final kind of piece that I remember most about her was actually her love of gardening. And I think it was particularly important to her because wherever she was in the world, whether Africa or the U.S. or somewhere in between, she always had a garden, and this was really important to her. And one of the hardest pieces of her hospice experience was that because of her care situation and this facility she was in, she no longer had a garden. And so sometimes I would try to surprise her with, like, I brought her a Christmas tree one year, just a small one, or plants here or there. Well, obviously it's not the same as caring for a garden and all the work that goes into that. And I could see it weighed on her, and it was amazing how this is someone who's aware of that they're dying, and the garden was something she just kept coming back to. And so I had written this song for her, and I intended to share it with her, but I wanted to record a kind of proper recording of it first. So I had booked a flight to Nashville. I was going to go there and record this song. And just before my flight, so at this point I had been seeing her for over a year now in this care facility. Just before my flight, I went to see her, and this visit was very different. It was not nearly as talkative as usual. She was very quiet and kind of reserved. And I remember at one point, she reached out just to hold my hand, and so I held hands with her, and we sat quietly for a while. And I remember she started crying, and I started crying. And I didn't know why this was so moving, because again, I see her every week, so it was a different visit for sure. And a few days later, I arrived in Nashville, and actually the morning I was recording that version of this song for her, I received word that she had died that morning. And so that song just became that much more meaningful to me as a result. And I did have a chance to share it with her family. But this song's called Garden, and it's about a little bit of all those things. It takes a couple seconds for her to shake off the medicine, a couple seconds more to know it's me. It takes a couple minutes till she's right back in it, right where we left off the other week. Her body is a frame with the skin all stretched and stained, and a faded crown of gray curling her hair. She should be on a throne, not in this God-forsaken home, where they dope her up to keep her pushing air. But she says, I'm not scared to die, I'll look my maker the eye, and in his gaze I hope that I find peace. But now that this ship comes in, I've just one prayer left on my lips. Lord, take me kindly if you please. It takes a couple hours, for she's tired of your flowers. They remind her of the garden that she can't grow. For it's freedom she's missing, just to make her own decisions. Keep living how she's living till she goes. Her body is a frame with the skin all stretched and stained, and she wears that crown of gray just like a queen. Should be on a throne, not in this God-forsaken home, where the medicine's becoming the disease. She says, I'm not scared to die, I'm scared that I might lose my mind and end up like the woman down the hall. How she screamed when her time had come. God knows she's not the only one. So Lord, take me kindly when you call. 'Cause I am standing in her garden, and it is easy to forget that there is bound to be a harvest, and the season will end. But she says, don't be scared to die. I'll tell you now, you'll lose that fight. Just let it be a lamp to help you see all the time that you have today. And when you're old, you'll learn to pray. Lord, take me kindly if you please. Lord, take her kindly for me.